What's poppin', y'all? Manifestation might be real because David has finally been arrested for the alleged murder of his, quote, girlfriend, Celeste Rivas, who was 13, 14 years old, and David was above 20. Now, the reason why I say that this is some crazy manifestation because Steve Fisher, SF Investigates, who was a private investigator that delivered so much information in September when we were first covering this David case, he said this yesterday. 7+ months since Celeste Rivas Hernandez was found dismembered in the front trunk of David's Tesla, and still no charges, no press conference, no answers. Now, one of David's friends had been taken into custody, but he was let out soon after. LAPD's own press release told the public there may be no criminal culpability beyond concealment of a body. That was a lie. Concealment is a misdemeanor in California. Dismemberment is mutilation of a corpse, a felony. The DA's own legal filings confirm her body was cut apart and placed in separate bags. That is not concealment, and they knew that from day one. They lied to us. So why are LAPD and the DA lying to the public? They also sealed the medical examiner's report, claiming it was only to ensure detectives received it first. Yet months later, it remained sealed. Why the silence? Why no transparency? Why no charges? What are they hiding? Is this a blown investigation? We cannot move on and forget about this case like they want us to. Justice delayed is justice denied. The time for accountability is now. Do your jobs and remain accountable to the public you serve. And very, very soon after, Variety would break the news that David was arrested for the murder of Celeste. It says here, according to the LAPD, David Burke was arrested by the Robbery Homicide Division for the murder of Hernandez and is being held without bail. The case will be presented to the District Attorney's Office on Monday for filing consideration. A little bit of a refresher for those of you that may not be as up to date on the case as I have been. Celeste's body was found by officers at a tow yard on September 8th when people were saying there was a terrible smell coming because a Tesla was towed because it wasn't parked in the right spot and it had stayed there for apparently months, or it was actually on the property for days, but the body had allegedly been there for months. So when they finally found where the odor was coming from, police found a dismembered body that was placed in the front truck of the vehicle. And then they followed where the car was originally registered, which was in Texas, to his family. And then they found that David had the car. So in the beginning, we just found out that, oh, this is this guy's car. And then it's like, oh, well, there's a body. And we were slowly finding out this information in real time. Now, this is video footage of the canines being sent in.
It's going to obscure my view from the gate. If you try to run or if you try to resist, you won't get hit with my feet going. It's going to hurt. I got you. If you try to run, we have canine on premises and you will get bit. I got you. All right, so the gate is locked. You want to open the gate? Sir, open the gate.
And this is also footage of somebody catching from down the block of David's house the arrest in real time. David's lawyers responded saying they will rigorously defend his innocence, which I hope they do. I mean, they're his lawyers. Let us be clear. The actual evidence in this case will show that David Burke did not murder Celeste Rivas Hernandez, and he was not the cause of her death. There has been no indictment returned by any grand jury in this case, and no criminal complaint filed. David has only been detained under suspicion. We will vigorously defend David's innocence. And Steve Fisher would continue and say, funny enough, just 6 hours after that initial post is when the arrest happened. And he says, finally, David has been arrested for the murder of Celeste Hernandez. It appears he was not indicted, but rather arrested by the LAPD, and charges will be sent to the district attorney by Monday for formal charging. More to come. Now, this is a little bit disappointing. Like, we take what we can get with this situation because David needed to be behind bars a very long time ago, but it's been almost a year since they're estimating that the body was not found, but since she was killed or died. We don't even really know the details of that yet. And just now, because she was a missing person first, and then they found the body. And that was like September 8th, like I said. And then since September 8th, we just got an arrest, and there are no charges being brought forth. Usually, if something takes this long, they come in, they pick you up, they slap you with the charges. But right now, they're just detaining him. Maybe they saw that he was potentially a flight risk, and they saw that he was going to fly to a different country, and they said, we got to pick him up now. Otherwise, he might not come back. That's potential. But Steve Fisher would continue saying, David was arrested by complaint, not indictment, and the case will be submitted to the DA's office for charging consideration. This likely means either the grand jury did not return an indictment or the DA chose not to seek one. An arrest by complaint means there will be a preliminary hearing to determine probable cause. So this doesn't even mean they have anything. This is bad for the justice of Celeste. But hopefully, we trust in the process. Our beloved LAPD, they always get the job done, right? This is a public hearing where evidence is presented and witnesses are questioned under oath, something that is bypassed with a grand jury indictment. So when they're talking about witnesses, we may see the other people that were close to David, like his manager and the other friend that had gotten detained before, have to testify to the situation. It will be important to see whether this reflects a difference in strategy or a difference of opinion regarding the strength of the case between LAPD and the DA, or if there's another reason for proceeding this way. Immunity agreements, whether formal or informal, remain in effect even though there was no indictment. This was a little bit conflicting with his attorneys because they said that, like I read to you guys earlier, that they said there's no indictment returned by a grand jury and there was no criminal complaint. So there's like an arrest. One group is saying that he got detained, but these people are, obviously they're against each other. And then we got the news that he was officially an inmate. David Anthony Burke, age 21. Crazy that this happened when he was 20 years old. Threw away his entire life and hers. Unfortunately, she didn't even get to live to see 20. And Juice WRLD lyrics coming back to haunt him. This guy, David, did not make it past 21. So you have the date of birth. You have his custody status, April 16th, 2026 at 10:44 p.m. Pacific time. So if any of you guys want to write him, the address is right there. But I am really, really hoping that they have something to hit this guy with and that he gets convicted, because if they give him some charges and the charges aren't strong and this guy beats the case, this is going to be our generation's OJ. This is worse than OJ Simpson, because usually with a couple with this OJ situation, he was married to her and spouses killing each other and not getting away with it, but spouses killing each other is like relatively common. That's the first person that police officers go to when some person dies, is their spouse. That's the first suspect. But in this situation, it's a girl that is significantly younger than David. And it's not just a significantly younger, like, oh, he was 30 and she was 20. It's like a significant gap in terms of he is a multimillionaire, a star with a huge song that's 1920, because the gap from a regular 19-year-old and a 19-year-old that's a touring musician with the hottest song and all of this fame is huge. Like the experience gap just from the same age of just a male. And then she's 13. And like I've said in previous videos, she was moving like certain kids that you've probably had in your own middle school that are 12 and think they know everything, and they're constantly running away from home, and they think they're grown, and they're trying to hang out with people older than them. And does that justify anything? Absolutely not. No way, because she's still a kid, and it's the parents' responsibility in this case to make sure to discipline, use whatever means they have at their disposal, because, hey, a 12-year-old doesn't know what the hell they're doing, ever. So if this situation flops and this guy is able to beat whatever charges, this will be a nightmare. Now, the people that are the biggest winners in this entire situation is David's record label, because if you look at the stats for David's music, it had one of the biggest spikes ever the first time he was arrested, and it continued because of all of the coverage that was happening. And people will cap like, this guy's got 22 million monthly listeners right now still. And you know what's going to happen again? This is going to be another huge spike. It's probably going to make it back to the charts again. The Romantic Homicide song, that's nearly at 2 billion. This guy is still one of the most streamed artists, and part of that was because of this. So his record label is going to be eating. And yeah, maybe they dropped him, quote unquote, but they definitely didn't drop the rights to earn from his music. That is for sure. And he's on the same label as Billie Eilish, actually. They make some dark music. Well, earlier in her career, she made some dark music. But yeah, I'm hoping to keep up with all of this. This is one of the most interesting and fascinating cases we've ever seen. And I'm still not just disturbed by how, frankly, disgusting this is and horrifying this is, but there are a lot of details that do not make sense here in David's behavior when the car was first found. Because David was moving like everything was normal when they first found the car. And I was like, why would he do that? Because he would only cancel the tour after they would figure out who Celeste was. So they found the body, and he still didn't cancel tour. It was only once they found the body was Celeste that he canceled the tour. So my whole thing is, did he not know that Celeste's body was in there? Did he not know that there was a body in there? That's the thing that really trips me out. But we're going to, hopefully, we find out soon. We're going to have to stick out the weekend. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. I will keep you guys updated on every important detail of this case. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one.